When you hear the word anaconda, what comes to mind? For an astonishing 70% of people, the image is straight out of a Hollywood script. A monstrous, city-crushing serpent, slithering out of the silver screen and into our collective imagination. We picture a creature of impossible size, driven by an insatiable, malevolent hunger. But why? Why has this particular animal become such a powerful symbol of primal fear? The answer is simple. Myths bite harder than facts. For centuries, tales from the deepest parts of the Amazon have spoken of colossal river serpents, blurring the line between zoology and folklore. These stories, amplified by sensationalized media, have crafted a legend that is far more thrilling than the truth. But deep within the emerald heart of the rainforest, a recent discovery is challenging everything we thought we knew. Not by confirming the horror stories, but by revealing a scientific truth that is infinitely more fascinating. This new discovery shreds the myths, not with fangs, but with facts. The story begins in the remote Guarani territory of the Ecuadorian Amazon, one of the most biodiverse places on Earth. Here, a team of international scientists, led by Professor Brian Fry, embarked on an expedition unlike any other. They weren't just searching for snakes. They were invited by the Guarani people to help document the impacts of oil drilling on their ancestral lands. For the Guarani, the anaconda, or acaima in their language, is not a monster, but a sacred animal, a vital indicator of the river's health. Their deep generational knowledge of the forest, passed down through countless oral histories, would prove to be the key. Following the guidance of their indigenous partners, the team ventured into areas previously untouched by modern science. After days of navigating labyrinthine waterways, they found her. It wasn't a creature from a nightmare, but a living, breathing titan of the natural world. Forget the chainsaw scenes and the B-movie theatrics. This anaconda measured a staggering, record-setting length of nearly 26 feet, and its girth was equally astounding, as thick as a truck tire. But this giant wasn't hunting suburbs or terrorizing villages. Instead, it was ruling its domain, the quiet, secluded riverbends of its ancestral home. This discovery was more than just a new size record. Genetic analysis of samples taken from the animal revealed a bombshell. For 200 years, science recognized one species of giant anaconda, the green anaconda. But the DNA of this northern giant told a different story. It was a distinct species, now named the northern green anaconda, or owl, in honor of the Guarani name. These two species, though they look nearly identical, diverged almost 10 million years ago. To put that in perspective, the genetic difference between them is greater than the difference between humans and chimpanzees. A whole new species of apex predator had been hiding in plain sight. So, let's tackle the myths head-on. Myth number 1. Anacondas are aggressive man-eaters that hunt humans for sport. The fact is, documented fatal attacks on humans are extraordinarily rare, with only a handful of credible cases ever recorded. Anacondas are ambush predators. They rely on stealth and surprise, waiting patiently for a meal to come to them. A 150-pound human is simply not their preferred or practical prey. We are too large, too bony, and frankly, too much trouble. Any rare incidents are almost always defensive, a case of a startled snake protecting itself from a perceived threat. So what do they eat? Their diet is dictated by opportunity and size. Younger, smaller anacondas might take birds, fish, or small mammals. But a full-grown giant like the one discovered in Ecuador needs a substantial meal. Their preferred targets are large, water-loving animals, capybaras, which can weigh over 100 pounds, peccaries, a type of wild pig, and even caimans, formidable crocodilians that share their aquatic habitat. The anaconda's strategy is a masterpiece of evolution. It waits, submerged and nearly invisible, for an animal to come to the water's edge to drink. Then, with explosive speed, it strikes, securing its prey with backward-facing teeth. It doesn't crush bones or choke its victim. Instead, it applies immense, steady pressure, a process called constriction, cutting off blood flow to the brain and causing a rapid, quiet death before swallowing its meal whole. This brings us to another myth, that bigger equals more danger. The fact is, for scientists, a giant anaconda isn't a sign of impending doom, it's a sign of hope. An animal can only grow to this colossal size if its environment is perfectly healthy. Its record-setting length and girth are a direct reflection of a thriving ecosystem. It signals an abundance of large prey, which in turn means the entire food web beneath it, from the fish in the river to the plants on the bank, is robust and intact. This giant is a living barometer of environmental health. Its presence tells scientists that these wetlands are pristine, the water is clean, and the delicate balance of the Amazon is being maintained. It is the undisputed king of its ecosystem, and a healthy king reigns over a healthy kingdom. But what about the people who live alongside these giants every day? For the indigenous communities of the Amazon, the anaconda is not a monster to be feared, but a powerful spiritual being to be respected. They understand the snake's behavior and its role in the ecosystem. They know which areas to avoid, how to move through the water without startling a resting giant, and to treat the animal with the deference it deserves. Their approach is one of coexistence, not conflict. For those visiting or working in anaconda territory, the advice is simple. Be aware of your surroundings. Avoid swimming in murky, slow-moving waters, especially at dawn and dusk, and never approach or provoke a snake. Respect its space, and it will almost certainly respect yours. The fear we feel is a cultural construct. The reality on the ground is one of mutual, if distant, respect. Finding and studying these elusive creatures requires a blend of ancient knowledge and cutting-edge technology. The initial location was found through good old-fashioned fieldwork, guided by the Waorani's unparalleled expertise. But once located, modern science takes over. Researchers use satellite telemetry, attaching small harmless trackers that transmit the snake's location. This allows them to map the animal's home range, understand its movement patterns, and identify critical habitats without constantly disturbing it. They collect environmental DNA from water samples to detect the presence of anacondas in a given area, and they analyze tissue and blood samples to understand their genetics, diet, and exposure to pollutants. This fusion of indigenous wisdom and scientific rigor is painting the most complete picture of the anaconda's life we have ever had. And that picture reveals a creature under threat. The northern green anaconda may be newly described to science, but it is already facing an existential crisis. Its habitat in the Yasuni Basin is the epicenter of Ecuador's oil extraction industry. Oil spills contaminate the rivers, poisoning the anaconda's food source and the snake itself. Heavy metals like cadmium and lead, byproducts of the drilling, accumulate in the food chain, concentrating in apex predators like the anaconda. This is why the Waorani invited the scientists in the first place, to use the sacred anaconda as an emblem, a flagship species to show the world what is at stake. Protecting this giant is inseparable from protecting the entire ecosystem from pollution and deforestation. It requires supporting indigenous stewardship, enforcing environmental protections, and making a global commitment to preserving these vital wild spaces. So, the real headline isn't "Monster Snake Found." The real story is that a magnificent ancient species, a guardian of the ecosystem, has been revealed to us at the very moment it faces its greatest threat. This giant is a reminder that the Amazon still holds incredible secrets, and that scientific discovery is a collaborative journey, enriched by the wisdom of those who have known the forest for millennia. The myth is a monster. The fact is a fragile indicator of a world worth saving. If we protect the Amazon, we protect its giants. And in doing so, we protect a vital part of our planet's health and our own human story. Want to dive deeper into more myth-busting wildlife stories and uncover the hidden truths of our natural world? Hit that follow button. Because curiosity saved the... well, in this case it might just help save the anaconda.